The Dodgers make a sneaky move that is absolutely perfect. We get into exactly what that is in this edition of Dodgers Digest. Hey, this is Mike Nelson. Hopefully everybody's having a great start to their week. Of course, the Dodgers, had to make a move again after their recent injuries and especially after the recent news about Evan Phillips going down for the rest of the year. Well, the Dodgers front office got to work, and here's what they did. They got a pitcher from the Seattle Mariners in a two-player trade. It just happened just a few hours ago, just this morning. The Dodgers have acquired Will Klein from the Seattle Mariners in exchange for Joe Yakis, who, of course, pitched a few games for the Dodgers. Not a lot of major league experience, but they got a pitcher in Will Klein. It's basically a low-risk, high-reward, acquisition because Klein is a player. They're not giving up a lot to get Joe Klein. They're just giving up Joe. It's just one for one. The Dodgers, of course, are desperate for help in the bullpen. Klein didn't appear in a game with the Seattle Mariners at all at the major league level this year. In 22 appearances at the AAA level, he had a 7.17 ERA, not the best, with 32 strikeouts over 21 innings pitched. But I guess the Dodgers front office sees something in Klein that you don't see here on the stat sheet. They're definitely were interested in him. Klein was designated for assignment on Sunday, and the Dodgers basically got him today, right? So one day later, he's a Dodger. Klein was initially selected by the Kansas City Royals in the 5th round of the 2020 draft. Made his MLB debut just last year, so like I said, not a lot of experience. A total of 8 games with the Royals, and then Oakland Athletics. Across 7 innings pitched, he had a 11.05 ERA. The Dodgers, of course, really are looking for help in that bullpen, right? I mean, the way this year has gone, it's been definitely a struggle when it comes to the injuries, right? The injuries have not been good to the Dodgers. They've had a lot of players go down. I think the Evan Phillips injury is definitely a big story, him going down for the year. Also, Luis Garcia going to the IL. I mean, the injuries keep piling up. Basically, Tanner Scott has yet to go to the IL, but it seems like a lot of guys in this bullpen have been going to the IL, and as we know, the starting pitching has been also a disaster when it comes to injuries. Everybody's been there for a bit already, and the Dodgers, making this trade. What does everybody think? The Dodgers, last year made a move like that. Michael Kopech was really struggling when he came to the Dodgers. I mean, his numbers were not good at all with the Chicago White Sox. They were not good at all. And the Dodgers got him, and the rest was history, right? So I guess the Dodgers, obviously we cannot expect Will Klein to be Michael Kopech because Will Klein doesn't have a lot of Major League Baseball experience, right? I mean, this guy is basically a AAA pitcher that probably will get, playing time with the Dodgers, right? I mean, he's probably going to get playing time with the Dodgers because the Dodgers, of course, have injuries, right? I mean, if the Dodgers were healthy, there'd be no reason to call up a player like Will Klein from Oklahoma City, right? Because I assume Will Klein, of course, is going to go straight to Oklahoma, and his Dodgers are going to see how he does there. And maybe not. Maybe they're not going to even spend a lot of time with him down there because obviously the Dodgers might want to send one of the players they currently have on their roster now down to OKC, and maybe they'll give Will Klein a shot, right? That is also a possibility because the Dodgers, really at this point are trying anybody they can, anybody that's healthy and can contribute. Seems like it's going to get a shot with the Dodgers, right now because, like I said, there's too many players down, and the Dodgers are still using a lot of their bullpen, right? It's not like the Dodgers are, ready to go when it comes to their rotation. Like this series against the Mets, I mean, it's a tough series again. The Dodgers had a tough series this weekend against the Yankees where they, of course, win 2 out of 3, but they score almost 30 runs. How many runs are they going to score against the Mets, right? I mean, I think that's a fair question. Tonight, the Mets and the Dodgers will start a 4-game set at Dodger Stadium. It's Lou Gehrig Day as well, of course, creating awareness for, of course, Lou Gehrig disease. definitely a difficult disease everybody should learn more about. But tonight, the Dodgers will start this 4-game set. Dustin May will be on the mound. He's he started out pretty good, but he's definitely struggled as of late. 3-4 record, a 4.20 ERA. Yes, 58 strikeouts, which is great. And they'll be facing a pitcher in Paul Blackburn that, of course, hasn't had much. I believe it's his first game of the year. So Dodgers, of course, got to take advantage of the matchup today, right? I mean, today, looking at this matchup, the Dodgers really have to capitalize and win, right? I mean, I think the Mets are not bringing their best today when it comes to their pitching, and the Dodgers have the offense that they got, and they're playing at Dodger Stadium. I mean, the Dodgers got to try to get this W, right? Remember, the Mets did take 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers, Memorial Day weekend, just a little over a week ago. The Mets won 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers won on Friday in that crazy game where there was 2-hour rain delay or something? It was a long rain delay, right? It went 13 innings. The Dodgers got the W. But then Saturday and Sunday, the Mets pitching really shut down the Dodgers, right? That was a kind of a masterclass. We haven't seen that too much all year long, a team shutting the offense down like the Mets did against the Dodgers last weekend on Memorial Day weekend. So that's going to be, Mets and the Dodgers, Mets potentially could challenge for their division as well against the Phillies, right? And if it comes down to the Mets, win this series, the Mets could have the tiebreaker against the Dodgers in a potential, 2-3, deciding factor, right? Because remember, let's not forget, like we were talking about this morning on the show with Brad. Right now, the Dodgers are behind the Cubs, right? Let's say the Dodgers and Cubs are tied for number 2 in the National League. The Cubs are going to have the tiebreaker, right? And this series against the Mets this week, this 4-game set, it's going to be, in total, the Dodgers and Mets are going to play 7 games this year. So if the Mets win this series as well, then that means the Mets will have the tiebreaker on the Dodgers as well. That'd be another team the Dodgers would be behind the 8 ball when it comes to tiebreakers. Of course, the Dodgers lost their series against the Phillies earlier this year, and they haven't played the Phillies yet at Dodger Stadium. So think about it. The Dodgers have not really played too great against these teams that are really good in the National League, which is something to keep an eye on. These are the teams they're going to have to beat to go to the World Series come October, right? Because the road to the World Series is going to be tougher this year than last year. There's no doubt about it. Last year, they got the Padres in the first round, which was definitely a difficult series. And then they played these Mets, who I think are better this year. And I don't think the Mets are going to the NLCS. I think it's between the Phillies and Cubs. And I think we're going to see the Dodgers play the Phillies or Cubs, I think, in the NLCS. And that, of course, will be interesting to see, and interesting to see who will have home field. As always, make sure to subscribe, and let's go Dodgers. Woo!